terrible thing, all right. Split second, I lost everything. I lost my wife, my will to live, most of all, Susie's smile.
Welcome back to the Video Vortex. I'm Josh. I'm joined here with Donnie.
Yo.
And the Professor Smoak.
What's up?
Of course, we are from the All American Spook Show podcast, and you can listen to new podcast every Monday, wherever you get your podcast, at 6 p.m. East, or right here on the YouTube channel. We thank you for watching this, and stick around right here on the YouTube channel. We got tons of stuff, other series, Grindhouse Gutter, got what else, Donnie? We got I'm blanking. We got our newest one, Traumatic Experience.
Yeah, Traumatic Experience. We got.
You missed the first one of that, didn't you?
I did, man. Yeah. Yes.
That'll be coming back next month, because basically the way we're going to do this is we're going to rotate Video Vortex with Traumatic Experience every month. So you won't get this or that every month. It'll switch back and forth. But the ones that are monthly are Grindhouse Gutter and Hammer Horror in order. So those will be here on the YouTube channel every month. But yeah, we encourage you to go over to aaspookshow.com. That's where you can find all that stuff and more. Or just, like I said, stick around right here on the YouTube channel and check out all the other cool stuff we got. We got lots going on. But this one, it's something going on. I don't know if it's something good or not. Now, this is also part of our Spook Show Summer Disaster, which is we're knee deep in it now. We're deep in the chaos and the destruction of that. And it's crossing over all of the, well, not everything that we do, but most everything we do on Patreon, right here on the YouTube channel, and our podcast every week. Where basically the theme is all summer long through almost the end of August. Everything is going to have something to do with disaster, whether it be an alien invasion, zombie apocalypse, natural disaster, anything that happened in real life would be a disaster. So that's where this falls. And this is a disaster of two types of, right? Like, as in bad movie and I guess what would this be, an ecological natural disaster type of thing, Smoke, where it would fall?
Yeah, I guess yes. I think any of the killer creature type movies would be ecological, especially if they're this one is not involving a chemical or that type of thing. But there's a lot of those types of movies too, where something causes creatures to go berserk or whatever. This one is just your basic Jaws ripoff, right?
And I think we
have.
I mean, there's really not much to add to that. We have failed.
That's the end of that episode.
I think, yeah. Well, goodbye, everybody. And I think we actually have failed to this point to actually say what the name of the damn movie we're here talking about. So if you didn't see it in the description of the video, you wouldn't know. We're here to talk about Cruel Jaws from 1995. I guess we
have a number of other titles that I'm sure you'll get to.
Yes.
I guess we avoided saying it as long as we could. But yeah, this is a straight up Jaws ripoff. Mix it in, sprinkle it in with some other stupidity, and this is what you get. But this one,
it was marketed as Jaws 5, though.
Yeah, in some places it was.
Yeah,
because this wasn't an Italian production, right? Although it was directed by Bruno Mattei.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that part yet. Well, no, it was William Snyder, I thought. Wasn't it William Snyder?
Oh, no, it was Bruno Mattei. One of his many 35 fake names.
Yeah, he loves putting out the Americanized. Now, to be fair, most of the Italians back in, now this is 1995, but he was one of the fewer Italian directors still making movies past the mid 90s, I guess you'd say. But yeah, a lot of them would hide behind a pseudonym, and that's basically because American market, British market as well, English speaking markets. At that time, they people renting videos would be duped into renting what they thought was an American film.
And by the way, I looked, and it was I guess considered like an Italian production, an Italian American production. Since you kind of got both sides of the country where they filmed.
And I mean that happened a lot, even going back further into the 70s and 80s. Well, the last movie we did not too long ago during the summer disaster was Zombie on Grindhouse Gutter. Italian, Lucio Fulci directed, Italian crew, but it was primarily, a lot of it was shot. Well, not a lot of it, but the opening scene was in New York, so they had American crews and stuff like that. But yeah, they generally still assume those movies are Italian films, even if a lot of it's shot in the U.S.
And in this movie, you kind of get the feel for that too. Like if if you're familiar with watching Italian horror movies, there were moments in there that felt like that. With some of the camera work in this, but it was just way cheaper. Way much lower budget done.
Yeah, this one was aimed directly at, and the reason why we're doing it on Video Vortex is it was aimed directly at the video market. It never saw, to my knowledge, it never saw theater screens, at least not upon its initial release, I don't believe, unless it was a very limited one. But it was directly marketed for the video.
Written and directed by Bruno Mattei, and also Robert Fain was one of the writers on it. And of course, they have to give Peter Benchley his credits too for writing the original story that this is definitely based on, right?
yeah, it's pretty much. There's a lot of scenes in here that are just lifted right out of Spielberg's movie. Like I mean, they're basically lifted out of the novel, I guess, but they play like Jaws. In other words, the mayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, absolutely nothing will happen.
It's pretty much the exact same story, except as far as the original Jaws, except take out Quint, right?
Yeah.
We'll have that guy. That's pretty much it.
We won't have the most memorable character from the novel. Movie. We'll have everybody else, including. Go ahead.
The one thing that you really love from the original movie. We're not doing that.
No.
God, no. They waste way too much time on like these random love stories and shit that nobody gives a flying shit about.
Aren't you going with Billy?
Him. All he cares about are groupers and flatheads.
And I thought this was a different movie. Like whenever we put this on the wheel, and the way, if people don't know how we do these Video Vortex as far as choosing the titles, we put a whole bunch of stuff in a spreadsheet, titles that we know are video store related, video, direct to video, whatever type movies from late 70s, early 80s, if those were marketed later. The video market never really saw screens, all the way up to current era when they're directed at, nowadays would be just streaming only, no theatrical release or whatever. So we put all those in a spreadsheet, and then we put them on a wheel and spin the wheel, and whatever gets chosen is what we do. Now for this one, we just put the disaster movies on the wheel for this one and chose whichever one landed on is what it was, and it ended up being Cruel Jaws. I thought it was a totally different movie. I was thinking it was going to be The Last Jaws, aka The Last Shark, or in Italian, L'ultimo squalo, which means Last Shark, which was an Enzo G. Castellari movie. And that's what I thought this was when Cruel Jaws popped up. Much to my surprise, I'd forgotten about Cruel Jaws being a Bruno Mattei film I'd never seen before until we started watching it. And I'm like, this isn't The Last Jaws. Oh, The Last Jaws, that's the one I was thinking of, which is a much more entertaining film than this one.
I hadn't seen this before, and I haven't seen the other title you're talking about, but I'd be hard pressed to believe that one's worse than this. So
no, it's not worse. I mean, now that we're splitting hairs, some people might say it.
Yeah, I mean that's a low bar, but it has to be better than this was, right?
Well, how about cut rate / great value Hulk Hogan? He brought a little bit of
God,
a little bit of something.
You're some kind of a son of a bitch, Sam.
What did you say?
I said you're a son of a bitch!
I didn't even bother looking at names as far as these actors and everything. The only name I know in the movie is Bruno Mattei. But but the other guy, there's a guy that looked like a great value Patrick Swayze to a certain degree.
Ronnie,
Go home! I'll kill his lair!
There were some of the scenes in this movie that I thought might have straight up been lifted out of Jaws. Like, I'm not talking about they refilmed it. I mean, like, they took it from Jaws and just edited it into this movie.
Yeah.
Definitely something else. Because they did that with music, right?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the music.
There's one cut of music. There's one cut of music, and you don't hear it until, like, the back half of the movie, like the last 20, 30 minutes of the movie, but you hear it a number of times. It's Star Wars. But not like the whole theme from Star Wars, just the build up, and then the music changes to something else. And they do it 2 or 3 times.
It's like they used just enough of it, I guess, to where they didn't think they would. Not that anybody wouldn't notice, but I don't know what the legal. There's something about illegal as far as sampling a certain amount of music or whatever. I don't. Is it 15 seconds?
I think it's 5.
And
I
that's
think it's 5
roughly
seconds.
about, and that's roughly about how much time they use of it.
That and you know, they always say that it was it's a tiger shark. It's a tiger shark. But
Yeah, no.
every time you see it, it's a great white.
The tiger shark. From the judge of things, it's gonna have a mouth like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's speaking of that.
Time.
The soundtrack is like the rest of the movie. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
I think one of my favorite scenes though is when there's a number of groups of people going out to chase the shark. And the one group of kind of the asshole group of the movie, and that they keep bullying everybody. They have a group that they go out, and then like when the shark jumps out of the water and they start shooting at it and stuff. The girl that's with them just picks up a gas tank and just starts screaming.
Now that was interesting as far as a plot point in the storyline. Like, what? Who wrote this?
It's like a full minute of sheer madness that ends in the boat blowing up. There's a lot of like kind of weird. It kind of devolves into a kids movie in some scenes too, with the dolphins and the stuff.
Yeah, like Flipper. All of a sudden, you got Flipper going on.
Yeah, you got like this handicapped girl that's in a wheelchair who swims with the dolphin and a sea lion or a seal or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then that goofy music comes in, boom, 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 and then the dolphin is just jumping across the water, and the seal is clapping, and yeah. And then the next scene is somebody getting eaten by a shark, so like it makes no sense.
And at one point, you thought that she might get eaten by the shark, the little handicapped girl, because she goes into the water, and they got to like get her out real quick before the shark comes, type thing. I'm like, damn, they're really going. I knew they weren't going to go there, but they go there as far as like who's not watching the girl? She's like boop 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 down the whatever, and then right into the water.
It's dumped in the water. By the way, did you notice the underwater shot there where her legs are moving?
It's a miracle, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's the cure for what ails you. Apparently, get dumped in the water.
Just throw the shark, with a great white or something.
Her leg, like, because it shows her and then other. Like, she drops in the water, and then the other woman jumps in to save her.
Yeah.
They lift her like right before they lift her out. Though you can see two pairs of legs under there moving. They're treading water. Meanwhile, like they get her out of the water, and the other girl. They don't even bother reaching down for her. They're just like, no, whatever her name is, Susie. And then like it just cuts back and forth to that guy just losing his mind. Meanwhile, he's not really trying to help her out of the water. And I guess she gets eaten because you don't see it happen. And then it just cuts to them at the hospital with the little girl. Like, where's Susie? Yeah. Oh, she's all right. No, she's dead, All right, so basically what we do as far as the rating here for Video Vortex is we kind of come together beforehand and we come up with a number, and the scale here is 0 to 10. So based on just the first two that we've done, this is only the third one, where we all came together on this one is 2 out of 10 stars. It's not good. If you're one of those kind of people that just has to watch shitty movies of Bruno Mattei, then this is probably on your list, but it shouldn't be high up on the list, right?
Yeah, and somehow or other, the wheel must be real partial to Bruno Mattei, because this is the second Video Vortex movie that, technically, I think the director of Strike Commando 2 is listed as Claudio Fragasso, but Bruno Mattei was listed as uncredited director. So technically, he's still director of that movie too. So yeah, this is 2 out of 3 Bruno Mattei films,
and also 2 in a row, because that was the last one that we did too much.
In a row, yeah. And it's the third Bruno Mattei total, because back in the Grindhouse Gutter Strike Commando, the first one was definitely a full on Bruno Mattei was the only credited director of that one. So 3 Bruno Mattei films for the podcast in total, which is odd that he's the leader. That he's on the leaderboard of Italian directors.
Yeah, something that we need to fix here over all the series and whatnot that we do. But yeah, we'll basically leave it there. I mean, I think there is some fun to be had there, but man, it's just so much junk in the way of the fun in this movie that it just really drags it down. So 2 out of 10 on the Vortex rating scale there. So like we said off the top, we rotate this one with Traumatic Experience. So next month you'll get the second episode of Traumatic Experience. And on that one, we're going to be watching Hollywood Zap, which in some circles we found is kind of considered Porky's 4. So I don't know what the hell to expect with that. It's probably going to be really bad.
Oh,
That's
man.
probably what we need to
From Jaws 5 to Porky's 4. It's interesting.
Yeah. And then when we return to Video Vortex in August, we're going to be we'll basically be wrapping up the Spook Show Summer Disaster with this. We're going to be watching Sharknado 4: The Fourth Awakens.
Yeah, I'm not feeling so good.
I'm going to be sick.
I've never seen
I'm gonna
Sharknado
be
1,
sick
2,
that
or
day.
3. I don't know about y'all.
I've seen the first 2. I remember that distinctly. So, but all you need to know is there's a tornado with sharks in it. Go. That's all you need to know.
I'm pretty sure I'm not missing any characterization or anything.
Yeah, no. If nothing else, we're breaking the Bruno Mattei streak with this one because this one was directed by Anthony C. Ferrante. So at least we're getting off the Mattei
train.
ride. Yeah, the train.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you mean you don't want to go to one of his other disaster movies like Hell of the Living Dead or Rat's Night of Terror? No.
Now, I'm sure we will eventually, but not now. Not now. So yeah, we'll leave it there. So for Will, who couldn't be with us, Donnie, Professor Smoak, I'm Josh. We are from the All American Spook Show podcast. Hang around here on the YouTube channel for all the other cool stuff, and we'll see you next month.
Try and start her up, Larry. All right, try it now.